Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Charles and this is my 2005 Ford Crown Vic. We're going to be cleaning it up today and possibly doing a review. Stay tuned. Okay, so today what I'm going to start with, I'm going to rinse the car off first. Then I'm going to use this on the tires. That usually helps out a little bit. Not sponsored. Let me use this Bug and Tar Rain-X, not sponsored as well. On the front, on the mirror caps, because I do drive this car about 45 minutes one way each day. So bugs kind of, especially this time of year when it's kind of hot, kind of humid out, the bugs just tend to run right out front of it. everybody. So far what we've done is we've washed the car, and now we're going to start the drying process. Alright, so underneath the hood of the 2005 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor is the 4.6 liter V8. Yeah, it's not the most powerful V8, but for its time it was pretty decent. So let's go ahead and take a look. See how here. Got one of those sticky hoods where you have to do one of these numbers. And there it is, the 4.6 liter V8. I'm not sure what the specs were on this. Let me get you a little bit closer here so you can see. Yeah, this engine is pretty decent for what it is. Let me get you a little bit closer here. There we go. Now it is pretty dirty under here. I've not really detailed this yet since I've had it. However, 2005 Ford Crown Victoria with 176 7,000 miles. I mean, what else can you ask for? I mean, she looks good. She runs pretty decent. Well, I can't say decent. It runs pretty good. Transmission shift's fine. Everything's fine with this car. I'm pleasantly surprised with this one. I won't disclose how much I paid for it yet. Maybe if I get some more subscribers, I'll disclose that in the future. Many projects I see with this car in the future. Depends on the subscriber base. If it's worth it, if I'm seeing like a raise in subscribers, then I will definitely be throwing maybe some crazy paint jobs or some mods on this. But yeah, it's very possible in the future. So let's go ahead and get these door jambs wiped out, and then I'll get me some tire shine on here, and then we'll start the actual review. Okay, so the 2005 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. This car is a very solid car. I got a very good deal on this car. I will have to say that. Like I said previously in the video, once I get some more subscriber base, if people want to know how much I actually paid for it, it did get a killer deal on this car. I couldn't pass it up. So 2005 was a pretty decent year for the Crown Vic. 4.6 liter V8. This car was a police interceptor. It was active duty, but it belonged to a detective. From what I'm told, it was not in any like high secret pursuits or anything like that. It was mainly like drop it to the office kind of deal, go to meetings, things like that. Very nice hubcaps. It's got like a chrome look on it. Everything on this car, I've not had to do anything as of yet. Only thing I had was a fast flash. I know that's a big issue with other Crown Vics and Grand Marquis. Even the town car had the same issue. There are actually, let me take you back here and let you look at this real quick. Sorry if it's going to get bumpy. So, on these cars, on this bulb situation here, when you take this bulb out, or bulbs I should say, there are two bulbs. So it wasn't getting the right connection for both bulbs. So it's kind of like, I mean, you literally have a bulb out. So that's why I was getting the hyper flash out of this side. I just went ahead and replaced both bulbs. I didn't cheap out and just replace one. I replaced both bulbs, and that actually fixed my issue. It stopped flashing fast, it flashes normal. I'll show you. See, flashes normal. Before it was flashing very quickly, like there was a signal out, except there was no signal out that I was aware of. But a lot of people are not aware that these, you can actually probably see them. Let me see if I can get you a little bit closer. See what I'm talking about here. Okay, see how there's a bulb here and there's a bulb here. That's the issue that 90% of people have with these. And I've seen people on the threads, they will actually replace like wiring harnesses and rewire the whole thing, and they're not aware that it's just a $4 bulb. So if you're having this issue with the Crown Vic, Grand Marquis, even the town car, any Panther platform, check your bulbs first, because that is a heck of a lot cheaper than replacing wires or wiring harnesses, things like that. So just a good heads up on that. So I took it off the tripod here, but I just wanted to give you a really good walk around of this car. This is a 2-owner car. Of course, the state police was the first owner, and the second owner I actually bought it from. It's really filthy on the inside, so please don't judge me on this. I'll go ahead and turn her off. The inside's really nice. I really like these vinyl floorings. The whole thing, the spotlight still works, of course. Yeah, everything pretty much everything works on this car. The only thing that I've found so far, and I've had an issue with, would probably be that bulb that I spoke of earlier, and the AC compressor sometimes has a small squeak, like on the pulley, but I mean, I couldn't imagine that being nothing but a pulley, or maybe, I mean, even if it's the AC compressor, everything's pretty cheap for this car. That's something else I love about this car. Everything's pretty cheap. I mean, like the brake light switch, which is something that I need for this car as well, because it's kind of acting up on me. Sometimes if I push the brake a certain way, it will not illuminate the lights on the back. That's one thing. That's like $23 for this car. It's ridiculous. Air filter. I also have a Honda Accord. Of course, it's newer, of course, so I know there's that. But the Honda Accord, the air filter for that was $36. This air filter for this one, which I just replaced last week, was $5.86 from Walmart. Not sponsored. But yeah, this car is pretty clean. I mean, you can see in here it's pretty solid. I mean, the only thing I've really done to it since I bought it is I got an oil change, of course, because it wasn't even due for an oil change. The guy that I bought it from, he had the oil changed in it constantly. I mean, you know, every 3,000. He was an older gentleman, so he took care of his stuff, just as I will. But I've changed the air filter, did the oil change. I've not done any tune-up things on this car, believe it or not. The belt, I'm not sure what the belt issue is, because like I said, I've not really dug too deep into it, because the air conditioning works. It's just when I turn it on, sometimes if it's really hot, it'll squeak. There is a mess of wires, but this doesn't seem to affect the car in any way. I'm sure this is where like the police lights were on it. I mean, the body does have some damage. I mean, not really damage, but there's a little bit of hail damage here. You can't really see it that good on here, but there's a hail ding. This is like this when I bought it. The older gentleman that bought this car before me, he had these stripes put on, and it wasn't done very good. I mean, this one's already starting to peel off, so I'm gonna have to either have this redone or just have the car painted. Like I said, that may be something in the future that I'll look at, you know, based on subscriber base. You know, if I get a big reaction out of this car, then maybe we'll throw some money in it. Well, maybe we'll do a paint job and maybe some modifications to it. This can be a very powerful engine. It can be modified very much, from my understanding. You can also see here a little bit of remnants of, let me get to this side, where you can see around right here. Well, you can't really see it here. Sorry, y'all. There we go. See that little square? That's where there were lights on here before. There's the same one on the other side. So this was filled with some kind of body filler or something, and I'm sure that's why he had these stripes put on. Also, on the hood, same deal. He had these put on. You can see it's starting to come through a little bit here, where the tape's starting to settle. Sorry, there's a truck backing up here. Also the tires. The tires are really good. Like, they're in really good shape. Here's those hubcaps. They look like chrome. There is a couple of dings, like there's a small rust spot here, and there's a small rust spot back here in the back, right here, that I need to get taken care of before it gets out of hand. But other than that, she's a pretty solid car, guys. I mean, she's got a couple of dings, but I mean, she was in service. She wasn't in like the high pursuits or anything, but I mean, she was driven and she was loved. Let me show you this. Show you this start up here. Oh. She was a really good car, or still is a good car. Starts up like a charm. Focus. Wish this camera would focus. There we go. 177,609. Still got the factory radio in here. Everything's really clean here. I mean, the air conditioning works. And see, like right now, this air conditioning works fine. But, which I mean, don't get me wrong, I shouldn't have said works fine. It works all the time. It's really ice cold. But at times, I've noticed that it will squeak. There'll be a small squeak, like right now. It's mainly when it's really, really hot. Temperature does affect when it squeaks and when it doesn't. Like I'm sure you can hear it right now. It's kind of, sorry for the noise, there's some traffic going by. But yeah, I mean, she's a pretty solid car. Let me know in the comments if, you know, if you've ever had an experience with a Panther platform, or, you know, what have you. If you got a Lincoln or a Grand Marquis or a Crown Vic. I really love this dual exhaust. This true dual exhaust is amazing. Man, you can't beat this. And for the price I got this for, can't beat it. She's a good solid old car. Very reliable.